Islands in the sun dot the vast expanse of the world's largest ocean. Relatively small isolated havens, which Pacific Islanders have called home for centuries. Over time, the socio-economic landscape in this region has changed. Life moves a little faster, populations are larger, and the demand placed on natural resources is far greater.
We have small island landmasses in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. By and large, most of the countries are 90 to 95% ocean, right, with very small land areas. And think of an island community. Agriculture, food security, housing. There's increasing demand on islands for water. So we're wanting more and more fresh water. As that fresh water goes down from the ridges to the coast, of course people are using it for various purposes and it turns into dirty water. There's a sanitation issue. At the coast, that dirty water often gets into the lagoon. It pollutes maybe the reef, the lagoons, and the near shore food security system of fish. If there is a problem in that system, there is likely to be a disaster.
The Secretariat of the Pacific Community's Applied Geoscience and Technology Division, SOPAC, based in Suva, Fiji, utilizes tools and expertise in the earth sciences to effectively assess the opportunities and threats to vulnerable island communities. This work is carried out through 3 technical programs: Ocean and Islands, Water and Sanitation, and Disaster Reduction.
Basically, we have 4 core functional teams in the disaster reduction program. In addition to those 4 core teams, we have 2 projects. One is the Beyond Envelope project, which looks after 8 countries, looks at reducing vulnerability in 8 Pacific Island countries, 4 of which focus on safe drinking water, and another 4 focus their investments on emergency communications and emergency operations centers.
The European Union has injected over 9 million euros into the Disaster Risk Reduction EDF9 B-Envelope project to benefit the Federated States of Micronesia, Republic of Marshall Islands, Nauru, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Tuvalu and Tonga.
In the framework of the EU's pursuit of some global policy objectives, such as the Millennium Development Goals and the climate change adaptations, the EU is committed to assist Pacific Island countries in securing supply of clean drinking water and to have a safe and secure supply thereof for extended periods. The objective is to reduce the risk linked to sudden natural disasters in the short term and in the longer term to the overall impact of the climate change.
Over 170 majestic islands make up the Polynesian Kingdom of Tonga. Most are limestone islands, and a shortage of fresh water often poses a problem, including here on Tongatapu, where the capital Nuku'alofa is located. The Matakiewa well field on the outskirts of town is the main source of water supply to the urban areas. 6 reservoirs are kept filled by 36 boreholes located on the 14-acre property. Today, a geology team from the Ministry of Lands, Survey, Natural Resources and Environment has come to conduct a water monitoring survey on site.
What we are doing regards to the B-Envelope project, we are conducting monitoring of the underground waters around the kingdom, including monitoring of the Mataki Ewa well field where they supply the water to the urban area. Apart from the vehicle, there are some equipment that we are using to like the water level tape to measure the water level, plus with the salinity meters, pH meters, temperatures, and other monitoring equipment that we got from this project. One of the benefits for us is we have to monitor the underground water, and we can see how the salinity is, whether we are over extracting the water from the wells, or so it gives us ideas that we can try to manage our underground water we can manage to get a good water quality in our country.
Salinity levels haven't been the only concern. Diesel residue around the pump sheds, for instance, can easily contaminate this vital water source. Since its implementation in 2008, the EU project has worked closely with the Tonga Water Board to rectify this.
In big picture, I think Water Board has improved a lot with the volume of water, because we obtain electricity, electric submersible pumps, which is very, very reliable, and the output from those pumps that has been implemented is very nice, and also the watershed, big improvement with the cleanliness of the well field, and in hygienic term, very, very good. It takes about 2 days, 3 days to fill a reservoir using the diesel ones, but with the new ones it takes 1.5 days to fill the reservoir. So it's a big difference. Also, we used to have theft, people stealing diesel. It's a lot of expenses for the board. Now when we turn electrical, it shows also in our last annual report that reducing expenses of production, just mainly because of this project.
The Millennium Development Goals for all the United Nations countries involve eliminating poverty for grassroots, for the people who are still very poor. So Nuku'alofa, capital town of Tonga, is really happy to have that project from EU, funded by the EU. So now I heard about complaining, example Tofoa, that's the village nearby to the water system at Mataki Ewa. They were having no water most of the times. But now we are happy now that upgrading of the water system. Most of the people here in Nuku'alofa, we have water 24 hours.
The villages around Tongatapu have also been taken into consideration. 10 villages identified by the Ministry of Health have been assisted with improvement of their water supply systems.
Construction of this project, there were two designed drainage for the diesel fuel or any oil leakage that would drain out from the bore sheds. And we also have some drainage drums outside that's built off of concrete that are there to store any oil leakage that comes out of the sheds. Before there was nothing like that, but the new design on this new project really helps improving of collecting any diesel fuel leakage or any oil from running of these water pumping machines.
Ben Lawaki lives in Ha'apai. located north of Tongatapu. Like many families in his neighborhood, the Lawaki family makes good use of the new water tank at the church, conveniently located right next door. This is one of 105 10,000-litre tanks that have been installed in the outlying islands of Ewa, Ha'apai, Vavau and the Niuas.
Fana he taimi taha ube lai la pa ko taimi ko aloi ko he pouri o ku mango ku moko ai vai he mangau aki.
If it's raining so hard, you can just remove this thing, and as you can see, it collects all the dirty water, and see all the dirt from the roof is collected in this. Okay? So that's why it's supposed to go in there, but it's collected in here, and that's why the water there is good and clean. So all the dirty water from the roof is washed down here.
We make it and put it in the like the church, so this tank is open for the whole village. You can use it until from the 24 hours day you can use it. Before the water from the underground, the family have to make his own water underground, the well. But the village we have one, but the problem is the water is salty. We look forward for more things because we need more water for the whole village.
Over 3,000 kilometers away in the North Pacific, the low-lying coral atolls in the Republic of Marshall Islands face a similar water challenge.
Something like Marshall Islands is a atoll by the equator in the Pacific. Water is actually very rare for us. We have no rivers, streams, whatnot. And our main way of obtaining water is through raindrops. So oftentimes it's a challenge out here, one especially when we have a drought season. We do have some means or infrastructure to distribute water, but it's very limited with fund resource constraint and also infrastructure as well. And we'll continue to work on this sector with, of course, support from partners as we move forward. And it's going to remain a priority for us.
Majuro Atoll is the economic hub of Marshall Islands, home to the capital and a major gateway for visitors to these shores. But the Amata Kabua International Airport also serves another very important role.
The water collected from the runway is drained off into the side of the runway, and it drains out into these series of tunnels that goes adjacent to the runway. This is the largest rainwater catchment on Majuro, and the project is working closely with MWSC to clear the sediment that has built up in these tunnels over a number of years. And what we're aiming to do is to have a good flow of water from the runway down through the tunnels into the 5 main reservoirs at the end of the runway that's also managed by MWSC.
How the system works is we're taking the water from the raw catchment, the reservoirs, and it goes to the cleaning system, the filtering system, chlorinate it, and then put it underneath There's one reservoir where you got all the treated water underneath. That's where we store it. Then from there it goes to the city. Amount of water we have on the reservoirs is about 36 million gallons. It's available during open hours when we pump the water down to the city. Basically, we're opening the water like 3 times a week, 3 days a week. Consumption is about 1 million gallons per day. So, with the amount of water we have in the reservoir, which is 36 million gallons, is equivalent to about a month and 6-week supply of water.
The Majuro Water and Sewer Company has also been equipped with a 2,000-gallon water delivery truck to cater for residents not connected to the reticulated system and increased demand, especially during the drier months. Also added to its fleet is a sewage truck.
Most of the households on the other side of the island, which is Laura Village, these households are using septic tanks, and basically the truck has been really helpful that, other than each individual household to build another septic tank, we would use the truck to pump out the waste from the septic tank so it can be reusable. The best thing about the truck is we're getting a lot of our water too from our Laura lens, water lens, and there's houses that build next to these lens with septic tanks, and these are our priorities. The truck is used for making sure that each of these septic tanks are closest to the lens are emptied on a daily basis. That would really help from contamination.
We'll take this to the laboratory for analysis. This is an international test method for testing drinking water sources. That's about 330 bacteria counts in there.
For many families, water tanks are still heavily relied on. Through the project, rainwater systems like this have been installed at 350 households on Majuro, 250 on Ibai, and 173 in the outer islands.
We help them with the guttering, the fascia boards. We don't do anything with the roof, but we try to do a little repair on the roof, or we ask them to repair the roof so we can work on it, so at the end of the day it can catch more water. The people of this community is one of the second largest population in the Republic of Marshall Island, and you can see while you're here for some time that it's so crowded and the island is so small. And there are so many problems we are encounter daily as we live together here on this small island. The island has been divided into sections so that and before the water houses students come to your area, that they give you a notice in advance that this time you're going to get your water. So it is how we get our water. And I was so glad that the project has been taking place here during the distribution of the water catchment. It makes a big change in our community when it comes to water situation.
Right, ela bunun bangai kamolol train merar pok pedron nienten ngayon ngan tutok ngan jaraman ngayon army ginin kariyan ko mo na harkani pin pe kariyan nienten nak dia kilo ko yung yan pe kemarang nur kagi min ngayon yalap jangan.
It's really making a difference because everybody right now, they don't complain about drinking water. But some people, they don't have tank, they always come and ask for water. So right now, Kushiku right now is really good now because we got water helping from you guys, from our tank.
Water plays an integral part in all sectors of society, making training and awareness another vital component of the EDF9B envelope project in all the countries it benefits. As part of these efforts in Tuvalu, SOPAC's water and sanitation program has been conducting a workshop on water supply, sanitation and hygiene.
We identified the need for improved knowledge and information on water quality training and community-based water quality monitoring. So SOPAC had designed a package which was able to deliver that at the community level and also to a variety of stakeholders. In totality, we look at the entire drinking water safety planning context. So we look at basic water treatment methods, we look at sanitary survey forms, we also look at community-based drinking water quality monitoring. So that would entail working with communities and safeguarding drinking water supplies for them.
For us, culturally, we don't like chemicals.
While I was attending this training, it's very useful to us Tango. So, because when we go out for workshops, I think it's very useful to tell the communities how to check their roof and their gutters, like to clean, and even the water system. I think it's very useful.
Us in the community. To be able to facilitate. So
the end product of all this of water in the community, for end product meaning the skin lesions or skin infections. We have fungal infection, we have scabies, we have sores, and also waterborne diseases. For example, vomiting, diarrhea. On top of other health-related issues in the country. So these are more basic ones that we're hoping that the community will be more alert in times of drought, in times of even if there's a downpour. The training is very important to the Ministry of Health, and we hope that the partners can utilize whatever they learn from this training to their other members in the community.
Rainwater catchments are the primary source of freshwater in Tuvalu, especially on Funafuti. Each household controls their own water usage and rationing. With a population increase of 17% in the main urban center over the last decade, the EDF9 project has concentrated its efforts on the capital, distributing 310 water catchments to households and boosting the services of the Public Works Department with a 4,000-litre capacity water truck.
Underground water, we forget about the underground water because it has been contaminated. So the only source of water that we are relying at the moment is rainwater. So We normally experience that after 2-3 weeks of dry, a lot of people are lining up at the public works British for water. And since when we installed the additional tanks from the existing system, then we started to notice that it takes longer, like two months compared to the 3 weeks that we normally experience, that people will definitely coming and purchase their water in the public works.
Before they came in, we had 2 700 gallons water tanks to cater for about 14 people. That definitely wasn't enough. But when these tanks came in, we were able to have enough water between the short period without rains. When we go without rain for a period of 3 weeks, with our previous water capacity, we would definitely need the PWD to refill them. But with these additional tanks, we did not require to have the supplementary supplies from the PWD. But during the last drought, I mean, obviously everybody was affected, but we never actually ran out of water. When the special assistance came in, they had temporary measure where they put up several water tanks for different parts of the island. We had that extra water, but we didn't actually run out of water in our house.
Thousands of lives across the Pacific have been impacted by the EDF9B envelope initiative, including on Nauru, where major repairs were carried out on the island's 6 main water storage tanks at the Nauru Utilities Complex, complete with the construction of a new building over the tanks to boost water supply security. By meeting the need of the most vulnerable in simple and practical ways, the project has also ensured that the sustainability of its efforts comes at minimal cost to both the governments and communities who have benefited.
I'm very happy to be involved in this project because I see the difference in their lives and the tears in their eyes when we give them a water tank. Every time I visit these countries, I'm happy when I see the rain because I know the water tanks are being filled and they have water. Despite what we have achieved through this project, there is still a lot to be done to improve water and sanitation in these countries. The challenge is on us, regional organizations, governments and development partners, to work together to ensure that we supply water to these people as a basic right, because water is life.